All right, we are back for yet another episode of the Patriots Only Please podcast show extravaganza. I am Jeff, and this is Michael Foley, who is using his inside voice today because we've determined that apparently his voice carries on these microphones. But anyway, that's a whole other
It's
situation.
not shrill, though. It's not shrill.
No.
Not shrill.
Nice round tones. You know what I mean? That comes from years of performing and singing in this town. So anyway, yeah.
Diaphragm.
As always, there is a ton of stuff to catch up on. I mean, the news cycle just never sleeps. I mean, a couple of days go by and, man, any number of things can happen. I still have not necessarily changed my position that people are like, look, let's just get down to brass tacks. The media right now is on a sugar high with the Kamala, and I know that if you say it wrong, then you're a sexist. But Kamala, is it Kamala?
I think it's Kamala.
Okay, so
but I'm guessing. I'm not sure.
We don't want to offend anyone.
I believe it's Kamala.
We're not trying to purposely offend anybody.
No,
I believe. Yeah, it's Kamala, whatever.
I believe it's Kamala.
But the media is on a total sugar high with Kamala. They are obviously, look, she has no real record to run on, and the record she does have is completely the antithesis of what anybody would even support her on. And she changes her tune by the day,
yes.
And we can certainly prove that. But as it is right now, the media is on a sugar high, and she is enjoying the bump in the polls. What that means, how that'll turn out in the end, I'm not sure. Normally, if we were, say, 6 months out, there would be plenty of time for her to kind of hang herself on her own, on her own ineptitude. But with 3 months out, you don't know. Is the sugar high going to last? Is this going to be enough of a wave to push her through? We don't know. I'm frustrated because our side and the other side just keeps talking in their own echo chambers. And I think our side is definitely going to have to make a very concerted effort to get the message out and to try to penetrate that wall. So have at it.
I have two responses. The first is watermelon sugar high. Is that the sugar high? The Harry Styles.
I'm into it.
It's a great tune, by the way.
Yeah.
Very smooth tune, D minor. Great tune.
Is that a real song?
Watermelon Sugar High.
I don't pay attention.
Watermelon Sugar High.
I don't pay. You're way hipper than
Harry
I am.
Styles, man. Big hit. Harry
Styles.
Styles.
Dress, so I don't know.
Who likes Harry Styles? Come on.
I don't pay attention.
So that kind of sugar high.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I posted something today on TikTok that's actually doing pretty well. That talks. Consider this. Am I talking too loudly?
No, you're good. You're good.
I got the eyeballs.
You're good. You're good.
I'm gonna lower my voice. What you just said about having 3 months to me doesn't matter. And I'll tell you why. The facts don't change. Here's the facts, guys. Since we have only a small majority in the Congress, the Republicans, when I say we, I mean the Republican Party, and the Senate Democrats, the White House Democrats. So we only have a small say in the Congress. And Kamala,
I believe so, yeah.
Kamala Harris, as the VP, is the deciding vote when she presides over the Senate. She can sway the vote to the Democrats, okay? She's done that many, many, many times in the last year. And that has resulted in the inflation that we're experiencing, Ukraine funding. I mean, I can go on and on and on. She is personally complicit in the failures of the Biden administration by being the deciding vote in the Senate. So there's no changing that record. That's a permanent record that lasts. That's history itself. So in terms of the sugar high you're talking about, it's just that. It's high fructose syrup sugar that's bad for you and meaningless because her record supporting Joe Biden, top to bottom, she's, to quote Bill Maher, got a great little clip on YouTube the other day. He's like, for 3.5 years, Kamala was as silent as an electric car. And then all of a sudden, she's going to change the world. Like, no, she's not.
Yeah.
She's going to carry on Biden's legacy of failure, domestic policy, failure, foreign policy, complete failure. We're heading towards stagnation. I mean, people on TikTok often talking about the stock market being at such record highs. It's collapsed the last couple of days. I follow it very closely. The NASDAQ and the Dow in the gutter. I think because of the political turmoil going on in the United States, businesses don't like uncertainty. And the United States, the Democrat Party is completely uncertain. We still don't know if she's going to be the candidate. I mean, they're pledging delegates, but we don't know. Who knows what's going to happen?
Sure.
We're still not completely sure. This close to the DNC convention this month, what's going to actually happen? kind of unprecedented, right?
Sure.
I mean, Joe Biden stepping down is unprecedented, and still he's still talking about forgiving more student loans and doing more socialist nonsense. So, and that she's still everything Biden does and says still sticks to her. She's still the vice president. Her official title is the vice president, and she still supports everything he's done and will keep on doing, which is bad for America. So that's my response to the sugar high, the truth, the record, the actual record of her voting record, what she's done and said, what she has not done and said, her complete failure on the border. She's the AI czar. Have you heard her explain what AI is?
It stands for artificial intelligence.
Yes, which unburdens us from the burden of what official intelligence.
Before, yeah.
So my point is, I'm not saying it's not a cause for concern on our side, but focus on what we know is true. Trump Vance 2024. We have a record of success with Trump. We know what he'll do when he gets back into office. He's getting more voters every day. His donations are swelling. He's doing just fine. And like you said before in a previous episode, Jeff, we don't know if the numbers Kamala is reporting are the Democrats just releasing the money Biden already has, or she's actually bringing in more people. If you look at her rallies, not huge, not successful, right? Sure. I mean, I guarantee you there's some very, very wealthy Democrats on the planet Earth that are sending her lots of money.
Sure.
That's not the same as normal people sending money, their personal money.
Yeah.
How do you know what the difference is?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I guess that my and I hate to always be kind of be on the you're way more optimistic than I am, right? And I hate to always be on that side. I just kind of play devil's advocate, and I'm just assuming that there are more low information, low IQ voters out there that don't pay attention to any of this, and they're just looking at gender, race, whatever, and they're not looking. They don't care about the facts. And I know this because I in fact we just had I've had a couple of musicians come out to play some gigs with us, and who are on our side. And they're saying, "Oh, well, my girlfriend is the opposite, and she doesn't care about the record. She doesn't care about it. She's just voting for, the brown woman."
Sure.
And that's it. And so that's kind of where I get frustrated. It's like, okay, we can be armed with all of the facts and all of the logic and all that, and I feel like we're just kind of in our own echo chamber. So when guys like Bill Maher, who still will never vote for Trump.
No.
But he is still calling out the BS on his side.
Well, it's completely BS.
It's great because it's true. So he's at least hopefully maybe converting some people on that side. You know what I mean? Because that's where the change is going to happen. We already know, like everybody on our side, that's going to be voting. Now it's a matter of changing enough hearts and minds to where we could overwhelm the system legitimately to make it too big to rig in November.
I agree. I think that Latinos are going to vote for Trump in big numbers. I think that the Blexit movement is happening more and more every day. African Americans know under Trump they had more jobs, more money, more opportunities. The Opportunity Zone program that Trump created helped African Americans very, very much. The donating the funding to historic Black colleges that Trump funded, incredible for African American universities. He did a lot. Biden has built back nothing. Biden has built back nothing. And he will continue to build back nothing, and so will Kamala. So again, the fake news is in full gear, but we knew that would happen.
Yeah, of course.
I'm pretty sure this was kind of planned out how this would roll out, and they want Kamala to be this hero, but we know that she's not.
Yeah,
we have a record to look at. So people that aren't paying attention and care about gender and things like that are either wealthy or don't pay bills. I'm sorry, but the people you're referring to are probably doing pretty well for themselves because average people, single moms who want to go with her, I can't afford to. I'm putting my groceries on my credit card every day. They're not going to vote for her. They might not vote for Trump. But how do you vote for someone who's made you poorer in the last 4 years?
All of that makes logical sense, but then you see the polls, and the polls are like, oh, they're neck and neck. Now,
I don't believe the polls at all.
Like who are they polling? Like, the ABC polls.
I don't believe the polls at all.
1,000 Democrats? Of course.
I don't believe the polls at all. You know what I believe? I believe someone like Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil is reaching a whole demographic of people who are older, boomers, right? Who we think might be encamped in their whatever party they believe in, blue or red. But if you watch his weekly show, he really asks tough questions, but pretty much his conclusion each week is the Democrats are cheating. Democrats are bending the numbers. Democrats are anti-Trump. Elon Musk you see the whole Google thing?
Oh yeah.
If you Google Trump assassination, it goes to Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
I mean, Google won't let you search the truth. That's crazy.
I sent you that text the other day. The screenshot that I did with going through Google's.
So my point is, that's not winning. That is purely just sugar. Okay. And that will wear off too. Sugar wears off, but the facts don't. And Trump's rallies are getting bigger. Trump's donations are going to get bigger. I think that we, on the ground patriots, conservative patriots in each of our states, should start talking about maybe some fundraising events or doing some things to help raise some money for our local parties, our state parties, the Trump. We can all pitch in a little bit if we can. If you can't, then don't. If you cannot afford to, don't even think about doing it. You have an extra $5 or $10, it all can add up. But I do think we're facing the DNC, which is a monstrous political machine. We all know that. But the facts are the facts. And gas being almost $5 a gallon for 4 years, rent tripling. I mean, I can go down the list. You guys can Google all this. Maybe you can't Google all this stuff now. But you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the economy. It's the economy.
The economy, stupid.
The economy hits everybody. And what I said in a previous live that I did on TikTok was the fact that, again, whenever I talk about Biden and Biden, hashtag Biden inflation, I talk about prices, gas prices, the mortgage rate at 7%. That makes the American dream impossible. I get responses from people on the left that say, my 401k is soaring, the stock market is soaring, to which I say, and which I say to you guys, great. If you're in the market, that's great. I'm in the market. It's awesome, except for yesterday and today, it's terrible. But overall, the market's at record highs. But guess what? The investment numbers, which are not political, investment numbers are not political. They don't care about policy. They don't care about politics. They care about demographics and numbers. Unfortunately, a lot of Americans have nothing in the market at all, or they open a 401k at their job and they fund it twice a year if they can. But on a daily basis, the booming stock market until the last couple of days does not impact people on a daily basis. But you know what does? Biden inflation. Every single day it eats away at your savings, eats away at the value of the dollar, eats away at the cost of everything. So that is relentless. Biden's failed economy is relentless, has been. It will continue. If Kamala were to win, it would be 4 more years of us losing money, losing value, and paying through the nose for things that normally are affordable, including housing, which is critical for most people, right?
Yeah.
So that's not sugar. That's the truth. So I think if people look at their pocketbooks and look at the way things are actually going in this country, that we'll realize, man, when Trump was president, everything was cheaper, no wars in the Middle East, energy independent, gas, mortgage rates. You could buy a house, you could afford your rent, you could go on vacation and not put it all on a credit card. It's all changed in 4 years from the Democrats' tax and spend, tax and spend, tax and spend. Their Inflationary Reduction Act, $1 trillion, did nothing. I think there was a bunch of pork in there about Ukraine and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Didn't do anything to help America.
Of course.
So that's my response. And again, we kind of wanted to focus on Kamala in this episode. I didn't mean to go on a tangent like that.
Absolutely.
But I am a facts guy, but I'm also a realistic person. Everyone that I know, including wealthy people, I know some wealthy people, everyone's struggling. It's different. It's everyone's different. But everyone's living on less. Everyone's dipping into their savings. A lot of folks are dipping into their retirement accounts. You get dinged for that, but they're like, I need the money. It wasn't like that when Trump was president. I'm not making it up. The numbers are numbers.
Yeah. Well, and I'm seeing some of the comments. Biden didn't cause inflation. To which you would reply.
I would say, please fact check Milton Friedman. Milton Friedman, one of the greatest 20th century economists, said this: inflation is caused by the government, period. The government controls the money supply and interest rates. Those two things are the recipe for inflation.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. So again, you have people who are, look, they're on the sugar high because of Kamala. I think that, again, they're just looking at very surface level stuff, gender and all this identity politics stuff, and they're not really digging into the facts. And those people that are on whatever, they're leaving their comments or whatever, the trolls, whatever, let them do what they're going to do. You can hit them with all the facts and all the logic in the world, and they're going to do what they're going to do. So I think at this point, everybody's in their echo chamber. They're going to do what they're going to do. You're going to do what you're going to do. Whatever, do it. Fine. Vote against your own interest. I don't care. We don't care.
Just be careful. Just be careful.
But yeah, you don't scare me. Seriously, you don't.
Just be careful.
So,
just be careful.
But I will.
We're all happy. We're all friends here. Everyone's happy. It's all good.
I mean, whatever.
Everyone's welcome here.
And even the platforms too. So shame on them too.
Yeah.
So if you have to worry about getting banned because you have a difference of opinion, I mean, then
that's just the reality of the situation.
I don't need that platform. You know what I mean?
Right.
So but at some point you just got to draw a line in the sand and say, you know what? It doesn't. You're going to do what you're going to do. We're going to do what we're going to do. Hopefully the facts equal out, and hopefully there are enough people who, like you said, are affected by the economy, by their own wallet, that are just tired of the way things are going.
Yes.
And look, if you want to vote for the person based solely on gender or whatever your identity politics are, go right ahead, because there's nothing we can say or do that's going to change your mind. But hopefully some of this, whether it's from your own side, the Bill Maher's of the world, those people who wouldn't necessarily vote for Trump or whatever they're going to, or vote for the other side, can throw enough of the logic in your faces and kind of counteract that to where you at least go, maybe I should think about it. And I bless your little blue hearts out there, but you know what? You're paying bills too. So I don't want to hear it.
So
I don't want to hear it.
So there was a post.
Your blue heart.
There was a post actually on, and I fact checked it. And the Harris campaign, I guess it's a campaign now. I mean, she's running for president, although she's not been named the official nominee of the Democratic Party yet. That'll happen at the convention, probably. We're not even sure of that, but most likely it'll be Kamala. And there's I have the actual post from her campaign. You get paid $150 if you post about Kamala on social media.
Wow! So I wonder if all those little,
have you seen that?
Blue heart people.
Have you seen that?
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
It's the truth. You vote for her. You get $150 to post things about. You got to post so many things per week. $150.
Oh,
so
there you go.
It's not buying votes, but it's buying favor. It's buying the sugar. Buying the sugar you're talking about.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about some people are saying, what are your facts? Well, our facts are the last 4 years of the Biden administration. You can whatever news source you consider to be reliable, please check out the facts. Check out what the economy. I mean, right now the Fed rate is over 5%. Mm-hmm. It's the high. It's about 5.25%. Actually, that's exactly what it is today, according to Jerome Powell, who sets it. Mm. That's the highest it's been in 20 years. It's been that way for the last 4 years under Biden. That's a fact. That rate affects the mortgage loans. That rate affects everything. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about inflation. And again, when the vote in the Senate and the House was close, it was Kamala, who, as the presiding vice president, who voted in the direction of the Democrats to keep that spending going. So she's responsible as much as Joe Biden is for the economy, for gas prices, for food prices, for all of it. So that's a fact. Please, whatever you use to fact check the economy, help yourself.
Yeah,
that's not my opinion.
Why are you lying? Because all they hear is racist.
Well, let's also talk about this though. The job of the vice president. The job of the vice president pretty much is just to be around if the president can't maintain the office. Okay, so the job itself is to be sort of a figurehead, a surrogate. So, and she's been a very good surrogate. But whenever she's done anything or talked about anything, it's very hard to listen to her talk because she's not a very, very good speaker. And you're asking me for the facts. I mean, I'd love to hear her. She's been. I mean, the Raul Ortiz just retired. He was the chief deputy of the U.S. southern border. 21,000 agents under his command. He just retired last year. He was the chief border czar under Trump for 4 years and under Biden-Harris for 3.5. Mm-hmm. Guess how many times President Biden and or Kamala Harris spoke to Mr. Ortiz about the border? 0. He retired. He's out. He's got his full pension, so he's happy to speak. This is on 60 Minutes. So in terms of checking our facts, please watch the 60 Minutes episode where Mr. Ortiz says no one from the senior administration, including Kamala Harris, has ever spoken to him about the border.
Sure.
21,000 agents under his command and no communicating with the border. But she's the border czar. I don't understand that. That to me is
blah, blah, blah.
That to me is
they don't care.
That to me is but we're not talking to them. We're talking to everybody.
Sure.
And that to me is a dereliction of duty. And that to me is not fair to the American people, and it's certainly not fair to the American taxpayers. So again, I want to stick to the facts. I don't want to have emotion involved. I want to just stick to the facts. She's been the VP she's been the VP attached to one of the worst presidents in this country's history. There you go.
Yeah. So again, I ask anybody who might be watching, well, I mean, anybody who might be on the other side watching this, I don't know how many of those are, but
There's lots of conservatives out there.
What do you get? What benefit does anybody get for voting blue? There'll be a woman of color in the Oval Office. Look, if it was the right person, fantastic. It has nothing to do with gender or race. No. We don't care. I would love to see
not at all
a woman of color in the White House. Fantastic. Yep. That'd be great. It's not this particular person.
We want the best person for the job, regardless of anything else, just the best person for the job. And because Kamala has been attached to Joe Biden, who's been one of the worst presidents in our country's history, she is attached to failure. That's what she's running on. What? Failure.
Nothing.
Failure. So we want to
get what she's running on.
We want to get Trump back in office. We want to vote him back in November. We want to get back to law and order. We want to get back to unity. Everyone's welcome to join our party. We don't care about anything. We want unity in our party. We believe in peace through strength, and we believe in America first. Yep. Close the borders, energy independence, no more needless foreign wars. Enough. 3.5 years of war in Ukraine against Russia with no chance of no chance of Ukraine winning. Yep. Spending just so much of our tax dollars have gone to an endless war, to illegal aliens by the 15 million or so. RFK Jr., who's also running for president, independent right now. He was a Democrat, which is telling to me. It's telling to me that RFK Jr., who's a Kennedy, that's a political dynasty in this country. A Kennedy left the Democratic Party because he was so unhappy with it. Let's say it that way. He left the Democratic Party. He's running independent. On July 19th of this year, this last month, he went to Yuma, Arizona, and he filmed people crossing over the border. He filmed it and he interviewed them. He said it was, there's a petition, by the way, that I'll post on TikTok where you can petition the Biden administration to close the borders. This is RFK recommending that we do that. He talked to people from Afghanistan, Uganda, Uzbekistan, and Peru, people from all over the world. I mean, Venezuela right now is going through an incredibly difficult time. If you're not aware of this, Venezuela is pretty much having a civil war, a meltdown. I mean, the country's falling apart. Maduro won the election, but everyone thinks that wasn't an honest result, and the people are fighting back. Which, whatever that means to you guys, I'm not that familiar with that part of the world. I don't want to pretend that I am. But Venezuela right now is a hotbed of activity based on an election that a lot of people think might not have been legitimate. Yeah. That being the case, Venezuela is reporting their lowest crime rates in the last 20 years because they're sending all of their people here. Literally, they're literally sending them here. I mean, that's what's happening. So that's on Kamala. That's something she has to. That's on her ticket. That's part of her. I mean, she's saying publicly that she wants illegal aliens to get health care, 100%. Yep. So which we pay for. Yeah. So again, what benefit does anybody get for vote? I mean, if you enjoy paying taxes, and if you enjoy paying even more taxes, and if you enjoy seeing those taxes that you're paying going to other countries and not funding anything in your interest, then I get, and all you care about is put the brown woman in. I don't think that's what it is. I think people right now are, like you said, it's a sugar high. People are reacting to the fact that they don't like Trump. You don't have to like someone to vote for them. I didn't like Obama. I voted for Obama. I didn't like him, but I thought he was a very good speaker, and I believed him the first term. And then I figured out that he wasn't that awesome. But I thought he really had a silver tongue. He could really give an incredible speech. I think Obama and Bill Clinton back in the day have this incredible gift for oratory. They're very, very good. Sure. They're very, very, very good speakers. I don't agree with most of what he says, but the way he says it, the way he commands the audience, the way he starts here and ends here is magical. Okay? Sure. I mean, back in the day when Bill Clinton would speak, Republicans would be like, I can't stand this guy, but holy cow, I'm hanging on every word. Sure. Obama had that too. Biden does not have that. Kamala doesn't have that at all. And that's not important for the executing the job, but it at least makes someone look like a state person, like someone that should be in that position. So in this episode, all we want to say is that we're not supporting Kamala because she's been Joe Biden's surrogate for 4 years, and we think Joe Biden has been a failure. So if you're attached to a failure, if you're the VP of a failed presidency and a failed administration that we think has kind of sold out the American people and definitely the American taxpayer, I can't support someone that's made that a possibility, that's supported it, that is not only supported it, but been the deciding vote in the Senate whenever it was close, tilted toward the Democrats. She's 100% on the side of the DNC and the far left. She's farther left than Bernie Sanders. So that doesn't make me excited at all. We're not with her. We're with Trump. We're with Trump Vance 2024. And we're with conservatives, Republicans. And we're also, listen, if you're a Democrat on the fence, join us. If you're an independent, still trying to figure it out, compare the numbers between now and when Trump was president. I mean, if you don't want your country to be, as a taxpayer, I'm very sensitive to the way where the taxes end up.
Oh yeah.
And where are they going right now?
They're all going to Ukraine. They've been going to Ukraine for the last 3 years at least.
Americans are hurting, and it seems like we're the last on the list. That's the way it seems. And the numbers bear that out. Mm-hmm. And with Trump, it was no foreign wars. It was energy independence. It was a secure border. We knew where the money was going. Mm-hmm. Now I have no idea. And since Biden announced that he wasn't running,
where's he been?
Is he running the country?
Who's running the country right now?
So he did a speech the other day, I think yesterday, and they asked him about. So by the way, quick breaking news. Breaking news.
Yeah.
There was an incredible. I'm gonna shift course right now.
Sure.
And I'm gonna praise the Biden administration for something that happened today. This happened today, and thank God that it did. You hear about this? The hostage thing.
Oh God.
So yeah, but that's great.
Yeah.
So somehow 4 countries came together. The United States, Germany, and 2 other countries came together and negotiated with Russia and got a bunch of people released.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Congratulations to the Biden administration for getting the hostages released or being part of that. Everyone wants people who are being held hostage to come home.
Sure.
Everyone wants that. Right, left, center, nobody cares. Please come home. Please be safe. But we still have 8 hostages in Gaza who've been there since October 7th of last year. What's going on with that? That to me is more pressing than anything else because we know what Hamas is capable of. Thank God they're still breathing.
Oh, absolutely.
There's over 100 people still being held hostage by Hamas, 8 of whom are Americans. What's the update on that hostage negotiations? That really matters to me.
Yeah.
Because it's got to be a terrible place to be. But again, on one positive note, on one sort of ecumenical positive note, the Biden administration did help negotiate a peace settlement with Russia and released a lot of people around the world to freedom, and we praise them for that. So thank you for that, guys. Thank you for bringing home our people and people around the world. That's wonderful.
Great.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're compassionate conservatives. I don't care what side does it, but
yeah,
journalists got freed and citizens. It's wonderful. That happened today.
Yeah, and that and that is a nice little microcosm of the fact that I'm always happy to acknowledge the other side. If it's a win for our country, I don't care where
it was a win
from.
For our country for sure.
It doesn't matter if it comes from the left, from the right. But all the blue hearts out there have no clue as to any of this stuff. And
no.
So I'm just getting tired of the echo chamber.
No, I
think
too.
We got 3 months.
I am too.
And the echo chamber needs to either get bigger.
Joe was a part of that. Joe was a part of that. He didn't do it himself. He was a part of it though, and good for him. Good for America.
Great.
Good for him.
Great.
And, but the last question of that press conference today was President Trump chimed in real time during the press conference, and one of the reporters asked President Biden, President Trump wants to know why it took you so long to get this to happen. And Biden said, well, what did he do when he had hostages under his administration? And he didn't have any hostages. Biden was showing his senility in that comment. Again, he exited the stage very quickly.
Yeah.
I think one of his handlers went, Joe, time for lunch. Let's go. Yeah. Enough talking. No more talking. Because he said something that was completely not true. There were no hostages when Trump was the president. So that was kind of the icing on the cake to show why Biden is leaving the race. He can't continue. He's not fit to serve. All those things.
Yep.
So Kamala Harris, whatever you think of her as a person, or as a prosecutor, there's been a lot of questionable, dicey information about her record as a prosecutor in California. I think What do you think? I feel like I've been talking too
No,
much.
no, no,
I don't
no.
want to dominate the live.
And
I'm
that's
sorry.
okay. That's okay. I think that, again, she does have a very questionable record. She's, especially when it comes to a demographic of people in California that were thrown in prisons, given, huge, like, sentences, just exorbitant sentences for very small crimes, like, possession of marijuana, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, again, I just keep coming back to the question: what has she done for you? What do you think they're going to do for you? It's pretty apparent that the money and the power, it all just goes to their side. It doesn't ever get distributed. Everybody talks about, oh, the socialism and the communism is going to be great for everybody. It never goes to the people.
No.
It never goes back to the people.
No.
So you can talk about it. You can say, oh, we want socialized medicine and this and all this stuff. It doesn't go to you. It's not going to go to you. Okay? So stop voting against your own interest. All you got to do, spend some time in Detroit, Chicago, Baltimore, Los Angeles, New York City. Get your heads out of the sand.
Easy.
Let's just take it.
We're gonna lower the temperature. Okay? We're gonna lower the temperature.
But I'm just sick of it. All these little blue rainbow hearts.
It's okay. That's
great.
okay.
So tell me what have they done for you?
Everyone's
not doing anything for us.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and it can be an emotional decision.
You can only be wrong for so long.
Well, but here's the good news. Here's the good news. Trump and Vance together are going to, in my humble opinion, I think Trump and Vance are going to appeal to different demographics. Trump is the overall lion that will appeal to most Republican conservatives nationwide. Okay, but Vance, I think his niche is going to be the Rust Belt. I think he comes from that part of the world. He speaks their language. Born in Appalachia, grew up in Ohio. I think he's going to be that. I think that's why he was selected, because a lot of those are the swing states, right?
I'm going to take a kind of an unpopular position.
Sure.
I don't think having Vance on the ticket helps Trump at all.
Wow.
You know why? Because Trump already had those people. Mm-hmm. I think really, if you wanted to satisfy all the blue hearts, you should have put in Tulsi Gabbard. You should have put in a Vivek. Because if all they care about is identity politics and the color of someone's skin or their gender, then he had an opportunity to do that. So I would say, Trump, I love you, but it's another missed opportunity. I don't think Vance helps his ticket at all, because those are the people who are going to support him anyway. Ben Shapiro thinks the same thing too. There's pundits out there.
Here's why I think it was the right move, because of their history, their personal history. Trump has been very wealthy from the time he was born until being a billionaire today. That is not J.D. Vance's story.
No, but he is a very successful business person. So we don't need. I mean,
but he's not. It's not an identity politics thing to say that he grew up very poor, single mom, not even his mother, his grandmother. His story is Obama's story. I mean, it's the same story if you think about it. Single mom, started with very humble beginnings. Single, one woman in the home, no guy in the house.
Sure.
Very humble beginnings, and he made a way for himself. Business, Senate, service. He served in the military.
Sure.
Trump can't say any of those things. Trump was born with a silver spoon in his hand. Not a lot of us were, but Trump was. Vance can look someone right in the eye and say, "I know what it's like to not have food on Friday night. I've been there."
Sure.
That's the truth. So I think he will appeal to some people who are in that kind of situation, or who have pulled themselves out for nothing, or still live in a situation where their town's desolate, not a lot of jobs. They're trying to find a way to pull themselves forward.
Sure. Vivek could have essentially kind of sort of said the same. I mean, maybe he didn't come from money, but he's still a success story.
He is, but he had $1 billion company. That's two billionaires.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm just saying, the optics of that can be a little bit rough too.
I get it too, but we're also talking about the people that only look at melanin.
But they're not. But I think we can agree that those folks are going to vote the way they're going to vote.
Of course,
there's no. If you can't have a rational conversation with someone about facts and it's only about optics, then I think the conversation is kind of over.
Well, and I guess my argument to that was that the optics at least were great. The optics are great for Vivek, because I'm tired of hearing about, the Republicans are racist and sexist. It's like, no, we're not.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
Not at all.
One of our biggest, loudest conservative voices. We've got some incredible Black conservative voices. We've got incredible Indian American conservative voices. We've got incredible, female conservative voices. So anybody that spent 2 seconds watching the RNC, knows that. So I'm sick of all the racist and sexist.
Maybe we had a fantastic convention. I think the Republican National Convention was really a shot in the arm for conservatives. It was a fantastic, positive message of unity, peace through strength, America first. It really was a wonderful convention.
I loved it.
So I'm hanging on to that energy. I'm not letting the sugar high of right now affect my high of that convention, because we saw the best of the Republican Party at that convention. And we're reaching out to everybody. Yeah. Everyone's welcome to join our party. And that's the truth. And, we don't play identity politics because we don't have to. We play America first, which isn't playing. We believe in America first. I mean, America first values built this country. It will sustain it through any situation. And it's funny. I mean, people come here from all over the world for a reason. And they might disagree with our patriotism and our flag, but they sure don't mind our benefits. They have no problem taking our benefits.
Exactly. You know what I mean? If the country goes completely down the tubes, then what are all these people going to be coming? What opportunity is left for the people that are coming here, legally or illegally? Right. If you can only, look, I always use the analogy. If you can only support, how many people can you bring into your house?
Right. It's a lifeboat. I mean, a country's a lifeboat. A lifeboat has a number on it. It says 25 max people. Yeah. You put 50 and it's going to sink. There's a great author, journalist that I'm a big fan of, Douglas Murray.
Yeah.
Douglas Murray's written lots of books about this very situation that's happening in the UK and in Europe. And his argument is basically this, and I agree with his argument. The argument, the great replacement theory, the theory being we're replacing America with these immigrants because Americans don't want to do certain kinds of jobs. Americans want to make a certain wage that companies can't afford to pay, on and on and on and on. The problem with that theory is these immigrants eventually also become old and aged and need welfare and Social Security.
Yeah.
And they're taking that out of the system their entire lives. So who's paying taxes anymore?
Yeah.
What's going into the system? When you do this, when you run those numbers in the UK, they figured out that immigrants were taking out far more than they were putting into the UK economy, which is one reason why the UK has basically become a welfare state.
Yeah. And eventually it just crumbles under its own
weight of its own debt.
So,
yeah. And also pensioners in the UK get letters every year saying, we're very sorry, we're going to have to lower your pension by 5% because we're out of money.
Yep. Keep giving it away.
Helping all these people. So essentially what we're saying is this. Congratulations to the Biden administration for negotiating negotiating a hostage release today. We celebrate Americans being freed for any reason,
no matter who does it,
anytime. We hope and pray the next announcement that we get from the Biden administration is the people in Israel, I beg your pardon, the people that are in Gaza being held by Hamas get freed and come home safely. There's kids, there's parents. I mean, it's awful.
Yeah.
So it's been since October 7th of last year, guys. It's a long time to be in a prison cell just because you're an American in the wrong place at the wrong time. So let's get them home too, please, please. And in terms of Kamala, we want the best candidate for our country. We want the best ticket. I think that if we have a binary choice, which is all we have, I think Trump-Vance by far is the way to go. If you agree with us, please reach out to us. We're on this podcast, Patriots Only, please. You can follow us on any platform you'd like. I'm on TikTok. Jeff is non-TikTok because of
I am on TikTok.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm on TikTok. I haven't posted anything in months, so yeah. So
he's a lazy TikToker.
I'm on TikTok, but I'm not on TikTok.
He's a lazy TikToker.
Kind of a lazy TikToker.
Lazy.
I'm still Facebooking like an old person.
Yeah, that's very old. So listen, guys, we're gonna wrap things up now. I think we titled this podcast "We're Not For Her."
With her.
We're not with her. I apologize for the wrong preposition. We're not with her. The only reason we're not with her is because of her. It's a performative decision. We're basing our decision on not being with her based on her performance as the vice president. Because Biden has been very unsuccessful as the president, his administration, she's backed every one of his moves. So she's also unsuccessful by association. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's nothing else as far as I'm concerned, as far as Jeff's concerned, as far as the conservatives that we know. We want the best team in the office, in the White House, to run the country, to get us out of this debt, to end the war in Ukraine, to get everyone home safe from Israel, stop the madness, energy independence, close the borders. Let's get things back to the way. Let's make America first. That's essentially it.
Yep.
And we're not going to get that with Kamala. We're not going to get that with the Democrats. They've proven that. They're doubling down on their insistence that illegal immigrants have the right to health care and busing and housing. I mean, there are Americans struggling to make ends meet. There are veterans on the street. These are truths. They're not just my opinion. So let's put people in the White House that are going to help us make Americans' lives better first.
All Americans' lives better.
And by the way, Jeff and I are both big fans of people immigrating to this country legally.
My wife immigrated legally.
I have family members that have come here from other parts of the world who did it legally, ports of entry. It takes a long time, but if you do it the right way, you get the green card, you make the pledge, and you're an American citizen. We are all for anyone coming to this country legally. Fine, that's absolutely fine. Yep. But sneaking over the wall is not cool.
Nope.
Opening the wall, letting them come in and giving them one of these and letting them go wherever they want to, and say, in 4 years, come back for your trial.
Yeah.
No one does that. They know that.
Yep.
So enough is enough. Let's go America first. Let's go Trump Vance 2024. We're not with her.
We're not with her.
We're not with her.
No.
We wish her success. I wish her. I hope that she and Biden have wonderful lives after they're out of office in November.
They will. They'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
But we want Trump Vance in 2024. If you agree with us, please support the podcast. Patriots only, please. Any platform you'd like. Thanks for all the hearts and flowers and love and roses. And if you don't agree with us, that's fine. Everyone's allowed to state their opinion here. We're compassionate conservatives. We're not here to judge anyone's ideas or statements. Everyone's welcome to be a part of the show. And I think anything else we want to add?
No, that's it. I think you've pretty much summed it up. I mean, look, it bothers me that we are always so inviting and forgiving and generous, and God forbid you go to the other side and get punched in the face and get out of here and you're right. And I'm sick of it.
Well,
I'm sick of it.
It's definitely
we got 3 months and I'm getting pissed.
Well, it's definitely a more emotional. I think
I'm more emotionally charged.
You are pretty emotionally charged. I try to stay dispassionate when it comes to politics and look at the numbers, look at the facts. And the fact that the border's been open for over 3.5 years is not cool. The fact that most Americans can't afford to buy a home, are struggling to pay rent, groceries, gas, those are real concerns for average people that the Democrats have no answers for. Just keep taxing people and sending that tax money over to Ukraine is not the answer.
Yep.
We need a new administration. We need fresh faces. We need people to come in and and make America first again, please. That's our hope for our country. And thank you for your kind attention today. We didn't mean to offend anybody or say anything that makes anyone upset. We're just speaking our minds, being honest, speaking from our hearts, and fact check anything that we said today.
Yeah,
we appreciate
we're allowed to do that too.
Yeah, we're
allowed to do that too.
Everyone has freedom of speech. Trump is a fresh face in terms of his approach to being America first. Biden is America last. I'm sorry, but when you're putting illegal immigrants over American citizens, that to me is America last. That's my definition of it. My opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion, and that's it.
There you go.
Azura, I want to thank you. Give a shout out to our production assistant today. You did a great job. How did we do? Did I speak too loudly? I've got to lower my voice a little bit. I get excited.
You got to do is.
And
no, I was probably.
I think Jeff's gonna have a massage now. And maybe take some Valium. And
I'm going to enjoy some of the legal benefits of living in our state.
Yeah. But guys, honestly, thank you so much for your kind attention today. We really appreciate your listening, tuning in. Have a great day. And we wish nothing but success for the United States of America and for all Americans, always.
Yeah, even the blue hearts.
Left or right.
We want you to be prosperous and happy.
We're all Americans.
That's right.
And we'd love you to join our party if you'd like to. So take care. Have a great day. I think we're going to sign off now. Are we going to sign off? Are we good? Thanks so much.
So long.
Thank you.